Okay, so where have you been, Danielle? I mean, seriously, it's summertime. You have nothing else to do with your life. Why aren't you on YouTube? Sorry. 2 weeks ago, I broke up with my boyfriend Chris, who's in my boyfriend tag, and we dated for 14 months, which is a year and 2 months for those who don't feel like doing math. And I thought he was the guy I was going to spend the rest of my life with. We, did everything together. I was always at his house. I stayed with him weeks at a time before I would come back to my house and stay at my own house because I'm 20. My parents can't tell me what to do. And, well, that's when I realized that I was so wrong. So, I'm sick, so I have to drink. Sorry. So, what am I going to talk about in this video? I'll tell you what I'm going to talk about in this video. Controlling boyfriends and how you shouldn't date them. So you're like, oh, Danielle, my boyfriend's not controlling. He just cares about me and doesn't want to lose me. Oh, no. That's what he likes you to think, but honestly, he's just controlling. That's my phone. Hold on. Okay. How do you tell if a guy's controlling? I'll tell you how a guy's controlling. My boyfriend, and this is different with all guys, so say you're out with friends and you and your girlfriends are having a good time and your boyfriend's hanging out with you and y'all are having a good time, and in my case, Shia LaBeouf gets brought up because, honey, Shia LaBeouf's like the most sexy guy in the world. Don't even tell me that he's not. So Shia LaBeouf gets brought up, and your friends are talking about how hot he is, and then you're like, oh yeah, Shia LaBeouf's amazing. And your boyfriend's like, wait, hold up, so you'd leave me for Shia LaBeouf? Yeah, probably. But anyway, stuff like that, that's not simple boyfriends being jealous. Like, oh, haha, that's a joke. No, honey, I would never leave you. No, that's your boyfriend being insecure and your boyfriend freaking out. I wasn't allowed to have Taylor Lautner posters hanging up in my room, Shia LaBeouf posters hanging up in my room. I wasn't allowed to have, you name it, I was allowed to have it. He took away so many of my friends. And I'm the type of person, I don't get along with females. Don't get me wrong, females, love ya, but you can be bitches. So I mostly hang out with guys because I've been a tomboy my entire life growing up. So he took away all of my guy friends, and I do mean all of them. I kept one guy in my life, and that's because my boyfriend told me if I ever left him for him, he would laugh at me. Okay, so number one, you can't talk about how hot any guy is, no matter how much he is a celebrity. Number two, he starts telling you that you can't talk to people, starts telling you that these people are trying to steal you, telling you that he wants to be with you forever. Honey, if you're dating a guy and you're my age or just a little bit younger than me, if you're over the age of 14 and the guy tells you that he loves you within the first, 4 days of your relationship, get away from him. That's bad news. He's trying to get you wrapped around that finger of his so he can tell you whatever you want to do, whatever he wants you to do, and you're just going to be his puppet, which is what I was. And let me tell you, you do not want to be a guy's puppet. Okay, so we have wrapped around the finger, no talking to guys, no talking about any guy, even if he's a celebrity. Okay, most guys have a temper. Don't get me wrong. I know this. I grew up with 2 older brothers. But my boyfriend, if he would get upset about the slightest thing, he would freak out. That's my phone again. He would freak out and tell me how horrible of a person I was. And then we'd be driving, and then all of a sudden his foot would hit the floor and he'd be going 90. Alright, wait, hold up. I put my car into a lake when I was 16. You don't drive like that with me in the car because I freak the fuck out. So, that's the number one sign of anger issues, and that anger will be turned towards you, as I found out. Okay, so let's see. If he does that out of anger, he's gonna turn abusive. I promise you. So, my friend points out to me that our relationship is unhealthy, and it took my friend, that's a mutual friend to both of us, and was actually his friend before me and him dated, and then became my friend. Took her to point it out to me that, hey, we're not in a healthy relationship. So I was like, you know what, you're right. So I ended the relationship with him and told him that maybe we can work it out. Okay, well, then I'm hanging out with one of my girlfriends that I wasn't allowed to talk to because she was going to convince me not to date him anymore. So I'm hanging out with her after we break up, and my boyfriend drives through the park. My ex-boyfriend, not boyfriend. Woo! My ex-boyfriend drives through the park 5 times in the 4 hours I was sitting there. Okay, whoa. And then I'm outside having a good time with my neighbor, who I wasn't allowed to hang out with either because she was trying to convince me to break up with him. I was hanging out with her, and he drove by my house 3 times. Alright, whoa, we're getting a little into the stalkerish stage. This is creepy. Okay, I have a brother who doesn't put up with that shit, and my brother's gonna find him, and my brother's gonna whoop his butt. But anyway, so let's see. And then he comes up to me because he needs to talk, and he needs to give me back my high school ring, and blah, blah, blah. So I walk up to him, and I'm talking to him. And I started talking to this guy on the side. Well, me and him were there, and he wasn't happy that I was with another guy. And so he's like, we need to talk. And I was like, alright, let's talk. So we're talking, and then he puts his arms around me, and he's like, I just want to hug. So I go in to hug him. Hey, I've loved him for the past, 3 years of my life. I'm gonna hug him. And I hug him, and then he, forcefully tries to kiss me. And I'm screaming no and trying to push him off of me, and he won't let me go. Whoa. Don't fly with me. So needless to say, we're done. We're over. So, girls, I understand it's love. I understand that he's the guy of your dreams and you want to be with him forever. No, you don't. So, if your boyfriend is out there and he's keeping you from texting people, not letting you hang out with anybody but him, and not letting you go a day without seeing him, if he's making you choose your friends over him, if he's telling you that my door just opened and I don't know why, I'm the only one home, but if he's telling you that you can or can't do something, if he's not even letting you hang out with your parents, if he's asking you who you're texting 24/7, that is a controlling boyfriend, and you need out of that relationship before it gets too bad. I'm gonna try to start uploading videos. I say this every time and I never do, so I'm just gonna say try. But anyway, don't let a controlling boyfriend get to you. Okay, peace.